Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here. My name is Tiina, and this is the video in honor of the very first day of the lunar cycle as part of our moon to moon restorative yoga immersion, day 4. So you've been experiencing practices now leading up to the new moon and a practice on the new moon itself, the dark moon. And this practice is in honor of the time that comes right after the new moon. So we know that the moon actually stays dark in the sky for a few days around the time of the new moon. So nature is still calling us to deeply rest and to restore. And yet it is the very beginning of the cycle. So we have this opportunity to start to open up ourselves to a fresh beginning, to planting seeds of intention and really honoring this sacred moment of beginning. So for the practice, I'd really love you to listen to what your body needs, honor whatever it is, whatever shape the body would like to land in, whatever position the body longs to take. Know that this is a safe space for that exploration. And I'll be offering a couple of restorative yoga postures and meditations and relaxation, but know that you can honor what your body needs. As well, for the practice, I'll let you know that we'll be using a bolster, 1 or 2 blankets, perhaps a block, as well as the option of having something to cover your eyes. You may also wish to use a second bolster or a pillow. So know that you can gather props, and you can also see my previous video about making your own props at home if you do not have access to these particular props. Okay, so as we take a look at the setup, for the first posture, we'll be landing in a supported back bend. So I like to use a block on the mat like this and take a bolster on top to make a little incline. I find it helpful to have a little folded blanket underneath my head, and everybody's unique with how much support is needed for the neck, but it's really important to make sure that your neck isn't uncomfortable or the head's not dropping back when you land in the posture. As well, I have a second blanket here. You might use a pillow or a bolster as an option too. And we'll be in this position just for a few minutes as an opportunity to center ourselves and to land in the practice. So you'll wiggle your lower back up nice and close to the short end of the bolster, perhaps sliding an extra prop underneath the knees. And take a moment to let yourself settle down onto the props, perhaps adjusting the blanket or pillow that's underneath your head. Arms resting at your sides. And taking a few moments to invite any little adjustments that help you feel a little more comfortable here. Maybe it's smoothing out the lower back or bringing an extra cushion underneath the lower back or under your buns to help make a little bit less of a bend in the low back if you need. Knees can also bend with feet on the floor if you are feeling your lower back quite tender here. Or you might be adjusting the legs extended with a prop underneath the knees for support. I also love the feeling of having something over the body, so maybe a blanket, or you can also take a folded blanket or a pillow onto the belly and the hip area, and that can feel quite soothing as well. Perhaps a light eye covering over your eyes. And taking these first few moments to settle into stillness, settle into the moment. Feel the support of the earth at your back, the props beneath you holding you up. So supported that you can really let your body soften into the support, be held. Begin to welcome your breath, feeling the gentle, natural rise and fall of the belly and the chest. And as you welcome the rise and fall of each breath, feel the smoothing out of the edges of the breath. Feeling as though each inhalation merges into the exhalation. The inhalation is born again from the depths of the exhale. And we welcome the feeling of fluidity in the breath and how natural it is for you to breathe here. The body knows how to breathe. Your body, your being knows how to move into the deep, restful state of the parasympathetic nervous system. You've been here before in this state of rest. You know how to return. Much like your body and your mind fall asleep at night, there's a regeneration that occurs when we give ourselves time and space to just be in stillness, to soften, to take refuge. Much like the darkness of the new moon, the stillness of the night. We live in a world that is quite overstimulated. So we need to take time and space for ourselves to activate this state of rest, to be nourished by stillness. So sense all the ambition or momentum of your day draining away, melting away. As you rest into the support of the props and the earth beneath you, begin to sense and feel the spaciousness of the whole front of the body, and a felt sense of the air that surrounds you and the sky above you. As the new moon invites us to step forward in our lives, to start fresh in a sacred beginning. So for the next few breaths, sense or imagine the sky above you, perhaps a sky filled with stars. You might imagine the very sliver of a crescent moon light just on the right side. Welcoming a feeling of potential as you breathe into the spaciousness of the sky, the openness of the front body. As your thinking mind softens into a more spacious awareness, welcome this feeling of potential. That as we plant seeds of intention in this practice, there truly is infinite potential. Possibilities in this life are endless. So take just a few more breaths here, welcoming this felt sense of open possibility. However that lands for you. And then We'll bring a little wiggle into our fingers and toes. Perhaps a little gentle stretch comes through, or a sigh or a yawn. And we'll let our knees bend and let the knees gently rock from one side to the other for a few moments to feel a little massage for the back. Just within your comfortable range of motion. And then allow the knees to fall all the way over to one side as you gently bring yourself into a little bit of a fetal position to press up to seated. So we can leave the props as they are for now, making yourself comfortable sitting. You may wish to sit up on a folded blanket or cushion. And as you allow the spine to grow nice and tall, let's take a few gentle circles with our shoulders. And as the shoulders soften down and back, let's inhale and sweep the arms out and up. Lift the heart up towards the sky. Exhale the hands down, the midline down to the heart, bowing the head gently. So we breathe in and sweep our arms out and up as if lifting our hearts and minds up to the possibilities in the universe. And exhaling, hands down to the heart, centering into yourself. So inhale and open up, opening up to the mystery, and exhaling, hands down to the heart. One more time, inhale, imagine your heart and your mind, your body opening up to the vastness of the sky. And exhale the hands back down to the heart. Now let's bring our pinkies and thumbs to touch and let the rest of the fingers open in a gentle Padme Mudra or Lotus Mudra. Again, this theme of opening. As we open up to intention in our lives in this time of the new moon, the first day now of the lunar cycle. Breathing into this sense of possibility, opening up to perhaps a seed of intention. Whatever word or image or felt sense comes in when you welcome this new cycle. And then let your hands come onto the body for a moment, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, as if you're planting the seed of intention into yourself. Knowing that this can be just the beginning of intention setting. We don't need to know exactly what our intention is at this point. It may be coming through clearly, or it may be more that you're just starting to create the space for intention to emerge, starting to open up to this sense of possibility. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands down and gently circle the shoulders a few times, up and down and around and round. And as the shoulders draw back and down, pause there. And we'll make a little transition over onto our hands and knees. So coming into a table position again, you can leave the bolster on the mat as it is, but make your way to a comfortable position in table. A few gentle rounds of the cat and cow, inhaling to lower the belly, lift the heart, the crown, the tail. Exhale, rounding, tucking chin and tailbone under, and flowing back and forth. You may also bring in a little bit of movement to the hips, perhaps circling your hips in one direction or the other. A feeling of undulation comes into your spine. And before we settle into this next restorative pose, I'd like to invite you into a puppy stretch. So just making sure you have enough room on your mat. With hips over the knees, we'll walk our arms forward, letting your head and your heart melt down towards the earth. Hips are still up high towards the sky. Feeling the gentle bowing down of the heart, letting your breath flow into the space just behind the heart, between the shoulder blades. Beautiful, and gently lifting yourself back up from puppy, and we'll crawl back towards the bolster setup into our restorative twist. So you'll come to sit so that your left hip is against the base of the bolster. Your two knees are pointing over to the right side, stacking those knees. Now I have an extra blanket here, and I'm going to tuck it between the knees, really between the lower legs fully, and that's an option with a blanket or pillow or whatever you have. We bring our arms onto either side of the bolster, and we'll be gently letting ourselves rest down on the bolster. Bringing your belly and your chest down, and turning your head just to face the same direction as your knees. So taking a moment to settle yourself into comfort there. You might have arms on either side of the bolster, left ear down, head facing the same direction as the two knees. I have still a blanket under my head. That's optional. You can have as many props underneath you as you need to be comfortable. Settling in with any micro adjustments that help you to really unwind and eventually land into stillness. Taking your time. And welcoming the body, the mind, your emotions, your nervous system. Welcoming your whole being to settle here now. As you feel the gentle waves of your breath flowing in and out. Each wave of breath guiding you to soften even more, to unwind and relax. Continuing to melt into gravity and into the earth, the connection of your belly and your heart to the props, much like your connection with Mother Earth, this gentle pulsation, gentle rhythm. Feeling held within this stillness. Relaxing and letting go. Each wave of breath guiding you to relax even more relaxed than you were the breath before. Allowing a gentle awareness to scan through the body, to feel the edges softening, bones releasing down into gravity. a felt sense of being so supported that you can relax and let go even more. Perhaps bringing back to your awareness the felt sense of that open sky filled with stars, perhaps that sliver moon that represents new beginning, as if your entire body becomes filled with this sky. The sky like nature of your awareness. And let's be here for a few more breaths. And as you are ready to transition, you might invite first just a little movement in your fingers and toes. So you're just inviting movement to come back so slowly. There's no rush. You feel ready. You can press your hands into the earth to help lift yourself up. And we'll be taking our time to shift to the other side. So you may do that just by turning yourself around. So the lower back sort of swivels around so that your right hip comes to the base of the bolster. Having your hands on either side of the bolster, the two knees stacking, perhaps supported by a prop. This gentle turning of the belly and chest to come down. Option to rest on another pillow or blanket under the head. Inviting any little micro adjustments as you make yourself comfortable. Making sure the head is facing the same direction as the knees. As you welcome whatever little adjustments help you to make your way towards the stillness that you know is available, that you can really soften into. And allow yourself to be with gravity, the feeling of being supported, so supported that you can relax even more. The waves of the breath continuing their gentle dance of inhalation and exhalation. The body knows there's no rush, so the breath slows down, the mind slows down. Your entire being slows down. And continuing to soften into the stillness. Perhaps bringing back that felt sense of the sky. The sky filled with stars as if your entire body is filled with the sky. Your mind is filled with the sky. Perhaps finding that little sliver of light of the moon, reminding you of the potential for creation that is within you, the potential to start fresh as we carry with us whatever gifts we're bringing from the past cycle, and we're leaving behind what no longer is needed. The wheel turns and it's time to open up to new beginnings. And yet there's no rush. You can linger here within the stillness and trust in this beautiful potential that is within you. The potential is here and there's no rush to make anything happen. Simply rest within this feeling of spaciousness. The sky within the mind, within the body, within the spirit. Notice the subtle moments of release, the subtle moments of softening that occur moment by moment, relaxing even more. And as you rest here for a few more breaths, breathe into a feeling of trusting in your own potential, trusting in the possibilities within you. And we'll start to slowly, gently transition, maybe a little wiggle of the fingers and toes first, and then gently pressing yourself up. From here, we'll be making our way into a final relaxation pose, so you may adjust your props if you'd like to have a pillow or blanket under your head, maybe a bolster under the knees, an eye covering over the eyes, or any extra warmth or coziness that you can bring in. You might even lay an extra folded blanket, block, or cushion over the belly to bring in the soothing weight. Resting into a comfortable stillness to integrate the practice. As you rest into Shavasana, notice the earth beneath you, so supportive. Feeling of being held, nourished by the earth. And welcome the rise and fall of the breath. Gentle waves of inhalation and exhalation. Riding the waves of your breath to relax and let go even more. So you find yourself relaxing with every breath out, relaxing even more than you were the breath before. That's right, continuing to relax and to feel a wave of relaxation that flows through your being as if entering through the crown of your head, flowing all the way down through this whole body and out the soles of your feet. Welcoming a feeling of this wave of relaxation, this wave of energy. And if this wave, this energy had a color, let that in to your awareness. As if a flowing stream of healing, nourishing relaxation continues to flow through the crown and out the fingers and toes. Cleansing and releasing. Notice that the body is breathing all on its own. The mind is relaxing like an open sky filled with stars. And there's nothing you need to do, nowhere to be, simply here and now, resting, opening, being. Here within the spaciousness of the self, within your potential. Open up to a seed of intention. Opening up to what your being is calling in this next lunar cycle. Is there a sankalpa, an intention, a heart's calling emerging? Maybe it's more of a felt sense or an image or a feeling. And we're just starting to welcome this seed of intention. Know that you're welcome to rest within this potential for as long as you'd like, or as long as your being needs. If you're ready to transition with me, you might start to welcome the sounds that are around you and the feeling of the air on your skin, even finding little wiggles of your fingers and toes. Perhaps bringing your hands together for a moment, just above the body, and rubbing the hands together, creating a little bit of energy, a little bit of warmth, and then taking these hands and cupping them over the eyes. You might remove an eye pillow or covering if there's one there. And taking a few more breaths to breathe into the space behind the eyes, the darkness, the mystery. And then perhaps the fingers start to massage the forehead, the temples, the eyes, anywhere that you're drawn, maybe down the cheeks or to the space behind the ears or to the hairline or even down to the neck. When you feel very ready and complete with that, you can take your time to transition. Again, you're welcome to stay in your relaxation and let it be as long as you need. If you are transitioning now, perhaps rolling to one side for a few breaths and taking your time to rest there until you're ready to arrive to an upright seat where we'll land together with a hand on the belly and a hand to the heart. Giving thanks to yourself for taking this time, this practice, for attuning to the cycles of the moon, to honor your need for rest, regeneration, and all the infinite possibilities that are within you, that infinite space of potential. We'll bring our hands together at heart center, palm to palm, as we offer the benefits of our practice to all beings. May all beings feel the benefit. May peace extend from our hearts to all hearts. Hari Om, Shanti Shanti, peace, peace. Peace to you all and love to you all. Thank you so much for being here, for being part of our immersion. Moon to Moon Restorative Yoga. Allie and I are so happy to be sharing with all of you. Please do leave me a comment. It really makes my day to receive comments from you. Thank you so much for sharing. And know that if you feel the call to explore restorative yoga, teaching tools and methodologies and the art of relaxation and restoring the nervous system, or if you feel called to tuning into lunar phases a little bit more in your life, we do have our Moon to Moon Restorative Yoga teacher training, as well as other retreats and trainings upcoming. So thank you so much, everyone.